Alright, so what I'm thinking, these posts are actually very strong, but there's no post here, there's no post here, so I'll add 2 posts in order to make a fence, basically, a gate I should say, excuse me. Each in-between space is less than 8, so it'll be easy just to get 8-foot 2x4s to go across. Very strong. Very strong. Very strong, and so on down the line. So I'm pretty confident that if I go with the minimum cost, which is to replace the 2x4s, which I think I've shown this before, but as you see, are all rotted out, worn out, rotted out. Replace these with 2x4s, and considering that that's technically the only expense, then I'm going to go with the pressure treated 2x4s. If I remember correctly, the pressure treated 2x4s are the ones that will withstand the environment, the weather, the rain, all that different stuff a lot better. And we're going to recycle and reuse as many of these pieces as possible. Of course, as you see, that one's no good, but I think for the most part, a lot of them, you know, old, yeah, but fairly solid. I'm going to use screws in them, so that'll be better on them. Some of them, even though they're rotted out like this, still will hold itself in place. So I'll just carefully withdraw all the nails and replant them using screws. For the longevity of it, I think would be a lot better for holding it in, and less possibility of them pushing back out, shall we say. We'll use as many of these as we can, and we'll take it going from, let's say, the back end forward, and then in that, or yeah, from the back end forward, or whatever, we'll figure it out once we get to that point. I might go from the forward back, that way I can use newer pieces under the tree. But originally I was thinking going from the back end forward, because that way any new pieces that I have to use will actually be towards the gate side, and it'll look pretty cool. Back over here underneath the tree, it's going to have things dripping all over it as far as sap and stuff like that as the year goes along. And there's a lot of pretty decent pieces here as well that can still be used, reused, and so on. This one, of course, nice and solid, but there's not one on the other side. From the looks of it, right there on the ground is the one that the neighbor took out when they put in their vinyl fence. So I'm going to butt one right next up to that fence and then just come across. I'm considering cutting where this line is, that branch. So this will go straight across to the fence line, which means that I will definitely take off the small one here, which goes like this and interferes with the fence. It's actually so rotten it'll probably break off on its own with a little bit of effort. And cut this one maybe right about here, which will put it about maybe 6 inches or so close to the fence. And this is basically just one long piece that then splits. Right now, there's not a lot of leaves and stuff on it. I don't remember exactly what kind of tree this is. I think this actually is a walnut tree. Actually, yeah, now that I look at it, it's a walnut tree. So cutting this off is not going to be any grand difference. We'll chop it down as we go along. So cutting off that split piece will still leave an extreme considerable amount in the center part of the yard. So that's the project that I'm looking at, replacing the main beams, which will be here and here. So that's basically 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then towards the front 14, not including what's needed for the gate. And that'll get this fence standing back up properly and also isolate the yard a lot better. In that same token, I would need to put 2 posts, as I mentioned, on the end to make the gate, and of course there would be a third one closer to the fence for that fence to end up on. And on this side there'll be the 1 post on the end, so that's a total of 4 posts. I can go ahead and do them with wood. Don't forget you still have these back here, and I just discovered these when I was pulling the weeds from the backyard. You have these two nice square pieces as well that I could use as posts, if that's okay with you. Otherwise, I'll just find out what the cost is for the wood. It's basically 4x4 pressure treated, a little bit of cement, probably about 3 bags of post cement, which runs about $2 each, I think, which is not bad. And the posts themselves being 4x4s, and we're only needing the 4 pieces, get something equivalent to this, which is a standard 4x4 post. Dig the hole deep, put it in, lay it in. I don't foresee any issues with it, unless over on that side it's hard to dig because of tree roots, which either way that would be an issue, irregardless of whether I use wood or any other material. So that's what we're looking at for the fence project, which is the next project that I plan to do.